Welcome to the Contractor Management System training for our supplier community here at ADNOC. Today's session will be an introduction to the Contractor Management System, which is SAP Fieldglass. There will be a demonstration of the SAP Fieldglass product, and then we will follow up with guidance and support. So let's make a start with the introduction to CMS, or the Contractor Management System. As a result of changes and updates to the HSE guidelines released last year, ADNOC have decided to implement a new system to help manage the onboarding of contractors. Contractors are mobilized for projects, for contracts, and for call-off agreements. Some of these changes focus on medical requirements. For example, medical fitness checks and toxic gas trading, which are both delivered by the ADNOC Technical Academy, and the HSE induction, which is also conducted by the ADNOC Technical Academy. As part of the updates and the changes to the guidelines and the new requirements to have these relevant certifications and training, there is now a need to put in a new system to help manage the onboarding of these contractors. ADNOC have selected SAP Fieldglass as the system of choice. In addition to the HSE changes and the updates to the guidelines, there is also a need for ADNOC to put in place a system which will give complete visibility, both to internal stakeholders and business units users within ADNOC, but also for the supplier community as well. The SAP Fieldglass application will give greater transparency and visibility into contractors and where they are within their onboarding or mobilization process. There is the ability to manage and track the performance of active workers as well. We will soon be implementing the ability for you as the supplier to enter timesheets on behalf of the contractors. Whether that's directly into the system or through uploads of spreadsheets, you will be able to submit the timesheet data that in turn will be integrated into the invoice and payment systems here at ADNOC. There will be a reduction in cycle time, and we would expect an improvement in accuracy, so fewer errors as part of that process. As it is moving towards an automated service, as mentioned, there is a greater need now to track and ensure compliance of contractors through these updated HSE guidelines so that workers, when they are fully compliant, are granted an HSE passport. This HSE passport will automatically be generated through the Fieldglass application, and this is then the permission for contractors to access ADNOC sites. So whether that is onshore or offshore, the HSE passport is generated. The HSE passport is then used to give contractors access to site. SAP Fieldglass is a cloud-based solution and allows both internal parties within ADNOC and the supplier community to collaborate more, and to give access to a greater set of data to business users, and also to you as the supplier around the management of these external contractors. As part of the SAP Fieldglass process, the Contractor Management System, you will first need to register your supplier account in the application. Once you have registered, moving forward, contract award notifications will be sent to you, allowing you to mobilize your workforce. So there will be notifications sent to you, allowing you to start the mobilization process. You will then be able to complete and create a profile for your workers, and then follow the necessary steps needed as part of the mobilization to ensure that contractors receive the correct trading certificates, undertake the correct medical fitness test. The system then will allow for management of access cards for people to get on site, and also for user account creation to enable access to ADNOC networks. The end result being where workers are onshore or offshore, an HSE passport is automatically generated, and will be managed directly through the Fieldglass application. And as mentioned previously, timesheets can then be submitted, following work that's been completed. In addition to timesheets, there will also be, as today, an existing ability in the process to charge for services where it is deliverable-based or fixed-term costs. So as part of these mobilization steps that are required for each contractor, these steps are driven based on the scenario that is relevant for the individual. Where a worker is accessing onshore sites or offshore sites, there are then further steps that need to be taken around training, certification and medical fitness tests, as you can see on these onboarding scenario sequences. Where contractors are accessing our HQ sites at ADNOC or even working remotely, with the need for network access. These onboarding steps and scenarios will take you through the actions that you will need to undertake. These scenarios are pre-built in the Fieldglass application. So once you have selected the relevant and correct scenario for your contractors, the system will guide you through the rest of the steps that you need to complete. We will now be going through the Fieldglass demonstration. This will take you through accessing the SAP Fieldglass system, navigating through the various pages, and showing you some useful tips for navigation. We will also be showing you how to manage your workforce, that is tracked and recorded within the application. We'll go through the mobilization phase, adding workers to the system, following onboarding activities, and steps that need to happen. To access SAP Fieldglass, you will first need to log into SAP Ariba. You will see a link to Fieldglass in the application gateway. If you have registered successfully and created your profile in Fieldglass, you'll be taken directly to the Fieldglass homepage via single sign-on. This is the Fieldglass homepage, where I'm going to give you some high-level information regarding the Fieldglass application and navigating through the system. First of all, you'll see on the left-hand side, the navigation pane. From here you can interact and drill down into a list of documents. These statements of work are your mobilization and call-off agreements. When viewing the list, you will see that each SOW has a name, and this contains a brief description and your contract number with ADNOC. By clicking on the ID hyperlink, you will be taken to the details page of the SOW. When on the details page, you can view some basic information about this SOW. If you have workers already onboarded against this one, you will see them under the SOW Workers tab. Alternatively, if you want to see a list of all of your workers, you can use the Work Order option in the main menu. If you have provided a list of workers to the data validation team, the workers will be preloaded as part of the deployment. You'll see in here a list of your contractors, where you have contractors engaged in call-off agreements. You are able to track their progress accordingly. You're able to see at a high level who these individuals are. You're able to see what status they're at within the process of mobilization, or the call-off agreement. If they're pending approval, it means that there are likely still activities that need to be completed in order to mobilize successfully. Once this has happened, you'll see them move into a confirmed status. It could also be that the mobilization hasn't been completed successfully. Maybe there is an issue with some of the compliance documentation. In this case, you'll then see that the contractor has been rejected for that mobilization or for call-off agreement. If we go back to the home page, we're able to track the activities that are needed in order to complete mobilization for a worker through this Work Items section. In the My Work Items section on the home page, you will see all of the activities, or to-do list, of things that you need to complete in order to progress your workers' mobilization. Whether that's onboarding items or activity items for your workers, you can drill down and you can complete the necessary actions and activities. We will cover this aspect in more detail during the training. You're also able to access this Work Items menu from the top right-hand corner. You're able to go in and see the same list again and drill down into more detail if you click on the links. On the navigation page, you'll find the Help icon. And from here you can link to the reference library. Within the reference library, we have stored all of the documents and learning guides needed to perform activities within the Fieldglass application. So these are step-by-step instructions detailing the actions that you'll need to take within the process for either mobilizing your contractors, for assigning them to call-off agreements, for completing the relevant activity items, whether that be for HSE or for training or certification. We encourage you to use the reference library as a first port of call for assistance with completing activities. This is also complemented by the Supplier Hub, where you'll be able to access and see relevant training guides as well. Also, during the process, for example mobilizing a worker or adding a new contractor, we have embedded documents and support guides that will help you through that process. You'll see more of those coming as we go through the training.